Hello everybody, here we are in the depths of West Suffolk. I'm not going to tell you where I am, but we are in the depths of West Suffolk. And I'm looking at something that's quite interesting for me, and I'll show you what it is. No, it's not mine, but this is another diesel bullet that's been built in Suffolk. And I've come to have a look at it. I've been invited to come and have a look, so here I am. There's the owner.
Hello.
So this is another Yamaha clone engine, but he's gone about it a little bit different to the way I'm doing mine. And I'm not saying one is right or the other's right, but it's obviously working. It looks well. He's using a tubular frame for the subframe, and it's interesting to see the lack of room that you've actually got, because you're governed between the centre point of the crankshaft and the centre point of the main shaft, because your primary cases have got to fit in there. That's set, you can't change that. And he's got the adapter. He's made an adapter to space it out, and he's used the Taurus chain case inner, which is that one there, which is the same as mine. But I can explain now why. This is where the starter motor fits here, and obviously you can't put the starter motor in there now because the frame tube is there. That's why I've got to move this up to here, and then bring my bars down to go round the starter motor, because I'm going to leave the starter motor on. So yes, it's an interesting project, and he's getting on with it. But there's the oil filter that you have to get out. You could just about get that out there, I think, because it's quite long, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So I thought I'd film all this so that I can look back on it and say, that's how he's done that. It's actually a tidy running gear on it as well. Nothing that a new pair of wheel rims wouldn't put right. But this is a different make engine, but they're all the same. They're all the same, pretty much. But because mine's going to be electric start, I'm going to do away with the recoil starter on mine, because they say that they strip, don't they?
They do, yeah. And I've really left it on there more as a talking point.
Yeah.
You know, for people to think, oh, what's that? You know, that's a little unusual.
Yeah.
My initial thoughts were to take it off and blank it off with some mesh.
Yeah.
Because they look quite nice and streamlined then.
Yeah.
But not wanting to cut the frame and use the electric start until it's all together. I don't know how easy it's going to be to start on the kicker.
They seem to, if you watch the Indians start, and they seem to bounce it on compression harder and harder and harder, and then take it over.
Oh, okay.
And they go first kick every time.
Well, I've got plenty of weight to throw at it, so.
So yeah, somebody said in the comments about, am I going to get the oil drain bung out, which is down there. Not very easily with the primary chain case on, and you don't want to be taking the clutch off every time you want to change the oil. But you have got an oil drain port there, and this one isn't drilled or tapped, and nor is mine. So that's what I'm going to do. So you'll be changing the oil from the front, because when you put it on the centre stand, it tips it forward anyway, so it'll be easy to get the oil out. And you've got an oil filler there, and you've also got another oil filler on the other side at the back, which you can't use anyway. So it's quite involved. There's more to it than you think. This has got the extended main shaft in there, which will be the next thing I shall order, which spaces the clutch out, because the crankcase is wider than the bullet one, so that puts the crankshaft out further, so you have to have a longer gearbox shaft. So yeah, interesting bike. Ooh, I'm knocking everything over now. But I had to come and have a look, because there can't be many people in the country building these. But he's making it up as he goes along, like I am really. It's whatever works. And hopefully by the end of next week I should be in a similar situation to where he is now, if I get my finger out.
You have to address each issue and each problem as they arrive, Dave,
Yeah.
don't you? And being an Indian-built rolling chassis in the first place, there'll be slight differences between
Yeah.
each one before you start trying to fit another engine.
Yeah, I know. Really interesting. Yeah, I'm getting a few ideas now. I mean, I've copied a lot of ideas from what the Indians are doing. I've used some ideas of what Price Parts have done with theirs, and certain things on that I don't like. And each one is a custom build, really. They're not the same. There's several different ways of doing all sorts of different things to them. And it's nice to see how somebody else is doing theirs, you know. So you've got the injector pump at the back there, which is quite accessible. And the other thing, of course, with not having the gearbox bolted to the engine, it's a doddle to take the engine out and the gearbox out. Take them out independently. This is a proper little Aladdin's cave here. There's a CZ here, look, on the other bench. Proper workshop.
Little new Hudson behind you. Over here, Dave.
Oh yeah, the autocycle. Yeah. New Hudson autocycle. I had a James Superlux one. That's the one I had.
Oh right, yeah.
And they're quite talky, aren't they?
I bought this as a non-running project, and yeah, so I've been doing a bit of work on the engine and that. You know, I just need to put the head back on. And yeah. It's another one I've fancied for several years, but they've all been too much money.
Yeah.
This one came from County Durham.
Did it?
yeah. But that come with a brand new pair of tyres as well, which, as you can see, that's definitely going to need, you know.
yeah.
But the tyres are like 82 quid a piece for those, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, occasionally you see the autocycles on the moped club runs, you know, and they're always a lot faster than the mopeds.
Yeah, I hope to do some of those at some point.
Yeah.
I did join the East Anglian Cycle Motor Club.
So there we are, another variation of a diesel bullet. Yes, it's very tight in there, but that is how it has to be to get the centre line of the crank exactly the right distance from the centre line of the main shaft. I've got an Athena Grey 2008 one.
Yeah.
Which has got my Meteor minor engine in it.
Ah, okay.
And
nice.
I take it for the MOT, and the guy says, "Does that need an MOT then?" I said, "Yeah, it's a 2008 frame."
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he said, "Okay, we'll give it the once over."
Did you want to get any footage of it with that primary casing on, Dave?
Yeah, go on. Well, if it's not too much trouble.
No, of course not. I'll just slot straight back on, mate. We'll take that out because it's only a little short drill blank, and the other week I managed to push it right the way through.
Right.
I was able to hook it out with a magnet, but so she sits on there, and then I kind of just pop that in there really with the oh, there we go, that one on there, just to get a bit of an idea about how sort of square she was sitting. So she does pull over a bit more that way and sit a little bit sort of square. As it pulls up, that will sit a bit square.
Yeah.
That's about the best I could sort of get it. But,
so you can see why you have to have the extra length on the main shaft now, you see, and it all comes together really nicely.
If I pop that off, then and that out, you can see just to get the distance correct.
Yeah.
You know, I made that little just alignment jig up.
I noticed on that salad cream one, there was a picture of one. I think it's based on the Royal Enfield Model G.
I remember that one, wasn't it? A maroon and chrome one.
I think it's green, I think.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. Yes.
But he's managed to do it with the standard main shaft.
Yes.
But he doesn't say how.
No, he didn't, did he?
No.
Which would be useful, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which would be useful. But to be honest, I do wonder whether he's got the engine too far over. Because I mean, if you look at the front of it now, from the front, the centre line of the engine, I mean, I know it's not a symmetrical engine, but the centre line of the cylinder and the head is pretty much sitting on the centre of the down tube. Yeah. So that really is kind of where you want it.
Yeah, you don't want it too far out.
You don't want it too much further this way to compensate for the shorter shaft.
Well, if he's got the shorter shaft in it, he's got to go that way, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes. So it's going to drop into right-hand bends, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you've got that flywheel.
Yeah.
Getting further and further away.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not where you want all that inertia flying around,
no.
is it?
This is probably the more successful way of doing it, you know, with the longer main shaft. Even the Indians use the longer main shaft.
They wouldn't have designed and built that main shaft if that wasn't necessary, would they?
No, they'd have got round it, wouldn't they?
They would, yeah.
I mean, why did Royal Enfield even make a different chain case?
Absolutely.
You know, if they didn't need to.
Yeah.
And to put the record straight, the Greaves Cotton diesel engines that were put in the Tauruses are nothing to do with Burt Greaves and Cotton in this country.
No. The first diesel one I ever saw on the road, it got a plaque on the side of the engine and it said Greaves Lombardini.
Yeah, I think they went into partnership with them as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
But if you look at what they're doing now, they're massive, absolutely massive company. They're still doing the diesel engines.
Yeah.
But that's only a tiny bit. They're into electric cars, electric bikes, all sorts of stuff.
Mm.
So nothing to do with the British companies. I was told wrongly that it was Bert Greaves down at Thundersley, who built the Greaves motorbikes, that it was his father that had joined forces with Cotton in this country, which is all nonsense. It's just the only thing about the names, Greaves Cotton, is it's a coincidence.
You know, you were saying about the crankshaft sticking out too far, and they use that other casing, the one from the later engine.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've pushed this on there and that's cleared. I'm sure I have.
Well, it looks like it's going to clear.
There's plenty of clearance there.
Yeah.
There's no problem there. Loads of it.
No, the guys, the one he's building in, or the ones he builds in India, he uses the Electra X one, which has got the bulge here that says Royal Enfield on it.
You don't suppose he's tried to do that to use the Enfield alternator rather than the one on the diesel engine, do you? Because you'd need that extra space then, wouldn't you?
He doesn't seem to have the alternator in there.
Okay. But yeah.
I know he changes the regulator rectifier, puts a new one on, says that they're not man enough to charge the battery.
No, I've heard that, yeah. A friend of mine built one many years ago using price part frame and everything, and he said he didn't have it running for very long before the original rectifier regulator packed up. I mean, they are made in China, and we know that everything is made to a price. Well, that's the thing. I mean, in industry over the years, I've bought loads and loads and loads of industrial tooling from China.
Yeah.
And it's been every bit as good as stuff made in Sheffield years ago.
Yeah.
Providing you don't ask them to make it for nothing.
Yeah.
If you pay them the right price and you get them to use the right materials, they are every bit as good as anything you could have originally had over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. If if the customer's willing to pay, they'll get the quality.
Yeah.
We're just saying that I watched a video last night with three guys in America, and they just fool about with go-karts and all sorts of stuff. And they got one of these engines, Chinese engine, and fitted it to a go-kart, and it was unbelievably fast. And the guy was saying, he said, you've got to break it in for 20 hours at little load and not many revs. And the bloke said, we've got no time for that. He said, we'll just rag it to death right from day one. And they ended up turbocharging it. And it's still, even to the point where they took the engine out because they were going to put a bigger one in, was amazing, absolutely amazing. And they took the pump out and was removing shims, trying to get a bit more out of it.
A bit more left, yeah.
And it made it slower, but less smoke. So obviously they'd gone the wrong way.
Yeah.
But what they did then is they've got this 1300 V twin diesel, and they put it in the Ford Ranger. Oh. Got 65 mile an hour out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got 30 to the gallon out of it.
Oh dear.
So we can all learn by what other people are doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, that's just what I wanted to show you. I read somewhere that there's between 50 and 150 Chinese manufacturers copying the Yanmars.
Is it really?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Because when the patent ran out on the Yanmar engine, that's when the Chinese went mad.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
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 It's the same like diesel heaters.
Yes.
Yeah, Eberspacher and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, now the Chinese are making them. I mean, you pay nearly 2,000 quid for a new Eberspacher.
Mm-hmm.
You put 120 quid for a Chinese one.
Like I say, I've seen them for a couple of hundred quid. Yeah.
Well, I've heated my place for the last 3 years with one.
Have you really?
Yeah. Yeah, it just works, and it's on heating oil, so it's not running on diesel. So they say all the pumps wear out. Mine hasn't.
but everyone's got an opinion on everything. You shouldn't do this because of that. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I think a lot of the time it's the old armchair mechanics, isn't it? You know, they hear something or they see something and it's gospel because you know they've heard it or seen it. And
well, my old grandfather says, "Believe nothing you see, and only half the things you hear."
Yeah,
that's about true, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, the old boys were wise, weren't they?
Talk to somebody who's done it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm inspired now to rush off home and start drilling holes again.
You got time for another coffee first, haven't you?
Yeah, I've always got time for a coffee. Nice little run out here on the classic 350 of it's about 72 miles for me each way. It's a cracking day and lovely countryside out here, but you'll have to guess where I am, but I'm in West Suffolk and I'm in East Suffolk, so, and that's all you're going to know. And I'll show you a couple of the Enfields he's got on the road when I leave. I'll put it on the end of the video so you can have a look. There's more about than you think. Oh, I've seen it a little bit. Look at this little old lovely look. BSA. He did tell me what the model is and I can't remember. He'll tell me again in a minute.
M23 Silver Star, 1938.
There you go, look. Silver Star, not a gold star, a Silver Star. It's obviously just had an oil change. This isn't what's leaked out of it. Nice piece, nice piece. Girder forks. And another rare bike, Montesa. You're not going to see those every day. Little Francis Barnett. And another Montesa. And an MZ. They say variety is the spice of life, and so it is. Handsome engine in that BS8, lovely. Iron head, iron barrel. Well, here we are again, and I'm looking at his Royal Enfield. Nice aluminium headed, aluminium barreled 500. I like the shade of green, it suits it. Five-speed box. You look at one Enfield, you think you've seen them all. They're all different. They're all different. They've all been modified and altered, and I like this one. It's my sort of bike, that. And we've got another 500 here. Iron barreled one. He treats this one like I treat my 350. They're just your go-to bike. Yeah, good old bikes these are, all of them are. And I'm on the classic 350, which needs a good polish and clean like it always does, and I can never get round to it. So that's mine. You notice this one's got round mudguards instead of being squared off like the Indian ones. You normally go straight across there, and some of them did have round mudguards. Mine had round mudguards. So has this one got round mudguards? It just suits them so much better. $24,635 miles. $31,920. I've got a way to go yet with my 350 at 14,000. But both of these are on 5-speed boxes. Anyway, I don't know how long this video is going on for. It's going on forever. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.